There are controversies surrounding the victory of Dapo Abiodun in the last governorship election held in Ogun State. People's Democratic Party, PDP, had asked the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to review the alleged wrongful declaration of Governor Dapo Abiodun in Ogun State. Within 7 days, in line with its power under Section 65 of the Electoral Act 2022, PDP argued that the result declared by INEC was completely at variance with the provisions of the Electoral Act and guidelines issued by INEC for the conduct of the election, adding that the results were compromised. Aside from the election stories, Dapo's government has also been criticized for a lack of performance. But discussing this with me in the studio today is a journalist, I call him a veteran journalist, Gbolahan Adetayo. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you, my brother.
All right, it's Political Matters, where we discuss topical and trending political issues and profile our best solutions.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome once again. Now, the victory of Dapo Abiodun, the governor of Ogun State, is now the governor-elect,
Yes.
is something we really need to look into today. Now, when you look at the margin between Dapo Abiodun and Ladi Adibutu, that's the PDP candidate, and Dapo Abiodun, is a very slim margin. Now, would you call that a landslide victory for Dapo?
No, because if you look at it, the margin is not that much as expected, and if you look at PDP candidate, they also tried. You know, they did all sorts to win the election, but it's rather unfortunate that once God has destined someone to be something, so it will be so hard to challenge and take it away from him. So to Dapo, it shows the grace of God, and this showed the sign that the good people of Ogun State, that knows what it entails to develop a state, it shows that yes, they really want him and they are ready for the developments that they are actually craving for. So, Dapo Abiodun winning the election, I think I will attribute that to his achievement so far in the last 4 years. I know this is something that a lot of people don't want to listen, simply because they don't know. Yeah,
that's the question I'm about to ask you. About his achievement. You just made mention of his achievement, and this is someone that some people in Ogun State have tagged as the worst governor so far in the history of Ogun politics.
Okay, in Ogun politics, if you look at it very well, you see that Prince Dapo Abiodun actually is one of the most, let me say, one of the best governors that we have in Nigeria at the moment. I am from Ogun State. I'm from Remo North Local Government, Para precisely. From outside, I was actually part of those who were criticizing him because getting to my hometown, I didn't see anything from him. But thereafter, I now realized that there was a time, because when the governor came in, when he assumed office, one of the very big projects that he did in Ogun State was renovation of schools, public schools, both primary and secondary school. And another one is the health centers. In Ogun State, any health center or any primary, secondary schools that you see, any public school that you see in Ogun State with yellow roof, is a project of Dapo Abiodun. So when we talk about education, Dapo Abiodun is someone who believes so much in education, and he's also trying his best. He's giving his best to make sure that everybody in Ogun State, all the youth in Ogun State, they benefit from his government. I was criticizing him because I never knew much about his achievements. Maybe because of inadequate publicity from his media team, Thereafter, I was like, okay, it was a different game in Remo, which is his constituency. The way they talk about him, people, it's not unfortunate that Nigeria is a country whereby people are just like, they are full of eye services. So when they see the governor, they pretend to be his own, they pretend to be his supporters, but behind him, they know where they actually belongs to. So when I got to Ogun State, I got to Remo, I was like, the way people were going about him, they were saying about him like, okay, this governor is not going to win, they will not vote him, they will not. I was like, this hatred is even much more than what I thought. Okay, does that mean this governor did not do anything? So as a journalist, I was like, no, I will not join the people criticizing the government. So I need to use my own office to investigate him and see if actually the people of Ogun State should re-elect him or not.
Now that brings me back to the articles you wrote during the electioneering period. And my question is, what relationship do you have with the governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun? I believe as a journalist you should be objective in discharging your duties.
Yeah. I have no relationship with Dapo Abiodun. All my life, I have never seen him before. I've never met him before. I don't know Dapo. I just know Dapo Abiodun as the governor of Ogun State, my own governor. But having a one-on-one relationship with him or encountered him, I have never done that before. But when during the election, I now realize that, okay, if Dapo Abiodun, if there's a negative story about the governor, if I can take my time to investigate that that topic and report about it, so why can't I just do the same thing in his achievements? So I took my time, I took my diary, and I started moving around Ogun State. Without anybody giving me job, I was just doing my own investigation to know that, okay, should I support those criticizing him or no? So in my own investigation, okay, I got to realize that this man has really done well. Compared
to the last administration?
Yes.
The previous administration in Ogun State, Amosun.
Yes.
There is a man that embarked and so much construction of roads,
okay,
and which many have said that the incumbent governor has not really done that.
Okay, now I also spent 8 years, and Dapo just did 4 years.
Yeah.
Now, if I should start reading what I got from Ogun State, part of his achievements, you'll be amazed.
Okay.
Now, the construction of yellow roof schools, that was just aside. In March 2021, the same government did a program, Tag Teach, whereby they employ teachers into primary schools, secondary schools, and even tertiary institutions. That is the government's own, the public schools. You know, this is part of his project. Let me remind you that at the last administration, when Amosun finished his tenure after the election that Abiodun won, if you remember that it's what's it called, Kuto in Abeokuta, that he started the project of the overhead bridge, and within the short period of 2 months, he couldn't achieve it. But that place was messed up. But when Dapo came in as a governor, this is one of the first projects that he completed, because if you look at Kuto is the introduction to the city of Abeokuta. And he did that road, he did the overhead bridge, and after that, if you look at other places in Ogun State as well, the construction of roads and all that, he has a lot of achievements in the state. But the only problem that I find out in my own investigation is that the governor didn't get enough publicity concerning his projects. Because
do you need publicity to speak about your good works?
Yes.
You need publicity to speak about what you're doing for the people, for the citizens of your state?
Okay, this is what I mean by...
I believe the work should speak for itself.
Okay, the work will speak for itself, but I stayed... Let me use this as an example. I stayed in Ijabode, and in the last 4 years, I've not been to, Songo. How will I know what is happening in Ota? But through publicity, I will know that, okay, this Ota road has been constructed, everything is moving on in Ota. So through publicity, I will get to know what is happening in other part of the states that I've never been to the last 4 years. But when you have done something here and there's no propaganda, there is no publicity for it, so people will not know. People who are criticizing simply because they have not been able to see what the governor has done in other parts of the state.
Would you fault in the aspect of disseminating his good works to the public?
Okay, everything will still go back to the media team of the governor, because as a journalist, at the mouthpiece of the governor, your job is to make sure that everything that is going on in the government house, every project of the governor is known and is seen everywhere. But the thing is that if you look at it very well, journalism of today is different from journalism of last year. You know, this is new media era. So this is not the era whereby you pass information strictly on television or newspaper. It has gone beyond that. The people who want their news in hard copies are those from the age of 50 and above. While those from 45 down, they want their news through mobile phone. Everybody, you pick up your phone, you read news on different blogs, you know, here and there. So it does not really need that I need to buy newspaper. So now, if the governor has done something in Yewa and I live in Remo and I've never been to Yewa in the last few months or few years. Yeah. So through my mobile phone, governor has constructed the Yewa road.
You're able to access information about
so Ota Road. Okay, look at when governor did Ekpe Road. Fantastic road. I never believe until when I passed through the road during my investigation, I have to follow Ekpe to Ijebode to just check what the governor has achieved. And I was like, whoa, this is a fantastic job. So to me, I felt that, okay, if he had gotten enough publicity through new media, that everybody, the youths that are today criticizing that he has not done anything, they will have seen it and they're like, oh, our governor is actually doing the best in our states. So that's why I said governor need more publicity through new media, not through newspaper.
So what advice would you give to him on that?
Okay, if I should advise the governor, I would advise him to appoint a senior special advisor on new media. Their job is just too simple. What they just have to do is 24/7, let every achievement of the governor be in the news through new media. The CPS, they are doing their own. So these CPS can deal with TV, deal with magazine and what have you. But this department, their job is to let people know about the achievement, the latest move of the governor through blogs, different websites. So every now and then, every day, let everything about the governor be in the news every day. If we can be hearing about El-Rufai in Kaduna, Ganduje in Kano, Zamfara governors through blogs, you can see all
in the western region here.
Do you get? So those places, they are too far from Lagos State. But I can tell you what is happening in Kaduna, and I've never been there before. I can tell you what is happening in Kano and Zamfara, and I've never been there before.
But people can still tell you what is happening in Ogun State. I don't know why you are being.
Do you know that I got to know about these things through new media? Not I can't even say okay newspaper. No, I read the newspaper, but most of my news I get them through my mobile phone.
Don't forget Emilio started in Ogun State.
Yes.
Yeah. That's publicity, you know.
Okay, Emilio started in Ogun State and he became popular through comedians on social media.
But the fact remains he started in Ogun State.
Yes, that's the fact.
And apart from that, I have seen that is a weak point, which I don't know if you are opportune to see him or to give him an advice. That's an angle in which I believe he should, take care of. But this same governor that you're talking about now, let me say you are backing now, is this governor that loves showcasing himself through pictures and all of that. This is a governor that takes photographs. He believes in fashion. So if he could invest money in fashion, taking photographs, posting online, he should be able to chip in money into that department to give him more publicity about his good works in Ogun State.
Okay, like I said, I am not with him. I don't know how that.
But he's a stylish man.
He's a handsome man. He's only an handsome man, and you showcase that.
Handsome man.
But the man is handsome. He's not ugly. And when you're handsome. Maybe because you're ugly. That's why I think it. But the truth of the matter is that social media is different from new media. If maybe the media team or the person handling his social media, like Facebook, Twitter, and the rest, maybe they are the one taking the pictures, They can do that. That is their own job. But what I'm trying to tell you now is that the work of social media might be to showcase your pictures and the rest, while the new media will showcase your achievements. So they may not have that clue that, okay, we need to create new media for people to see our good works, our achievements. And that is why I'm keeping in that, advice that, okay, you can create a department that will be dealing with your new media, everything that goes, every achievement, your legacy, your policy, everything, let it goes through new media. Do you get? So that is on that. So the one you are talking about, fine boy, if you are doing, if you are working, if you are holding a public office, does not disturb you to feel yourself as a fine man. So to me, if the man is showing you, he's handsome, so let him enjoy himself.
Okay, before we go, because of our time, now let me quickly chip this in. Tinubu is now the president-elect. Of course, there are issues still going on surrounding his victory. Now, you recall what happened in Ogun State between Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Dapo Abiodun. Like I told you, Tinubu is not the president-elect. Do you see that as synergy, coming up between Tinubu and Dapo Abiodun, considering the fact that Dapo Abiodun somehow, let me use that word, somehow supported the vice president of the country, Yemi Osinbajo?
To that, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't say yes or no. But one thing I know is that between Asiwaju and Governor Dapo Abiodun, I know they are enjoying cordial relationship. And if you see, during the last campaign, he was also there with him. So, and having Asiwaju, in fact, everybody should just be happy in Ogun State that we have Asiwaju as the president of Nigeria, president-elect. Okay. So after May 2029, May 29, 2023, Asiwaju will be there as the president, and for Dapo to be close to, for Governor Dapo to be close to Asiwaju, I think this will bring development to Ogun State. Look at Ota Road. Ota Road is a federal road, which I believe should have been, constructed. Okay. And I wouldn't know what must have happened between the present president and the governor that they didn't do that road, despite the present president, despite the noise from social media that Ota Road is bad. So, but for someone like Asiwaju from Southwest here, and the governor from Southwest, and from the same political party, so they will be able to sort it out among themselves that, okay, this road needs to be constructed. Asiwaju will also want to, change the face
of Ogun State.
Ogun State. Asiwaju will want to change the face of own region, which is Southwest as well. Because if you go to the north, take it or not, the north is as beautiful as paradise. So I believe that Asiwaju's government will favor Ogun State government. So
it's going to be a benefit to Dapo Abiodun and the citizens of Ogun State. I really appreciate you for coming on board, Gbolahan Adetayo. Really appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. All right, and on this edition of this program, we say goodbye to you today. Join us next time. Michael Adekunle remains my name.